Hello Clashers, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming with Willie. Today I want to get started on the first of my trophy pushing series. This one's going to be a bit of a short one, but we're going to do the Town Hall 7 push to... We're going to go to Masters, but this push is going to be relevant for up to Champions and potentially beyond. Now today I want to talk about how to get started with such a push. And I've dusted off my old Town Hall 7 for this series. This is not an account I usually use very much, but it's perfect because it's close to max Town Hall 7. Now, before doing any trophy push, I do recommend you have a max Town Hall 7, because it can be difficult to get the resources you need to upgrade things. Gold may be the only exception to that, but you should definitely have your Elixir and Dark Elixir upgrades finished before trying a push. Now, I don't have my level 5 king like I should, and I do have a few more Dark Elixir upgrades left in the laboratory. But since I don't use this account very often, it's not going to matter a whole lot. Now, when starting off, if you're, say, in the Gold League or down in the Silver League and you need to make your way up towards the Crystal League, I recommend doing smaller armies, such as Giant Healer or Hog Riders, or something in that nature where you can get in several attacks back to back. That way you're not taking too long getting up through the easy leagues. Now, the attacks that I've been doing a couple of these smaller armies, but I've also done a lot of Mass Dragons. And again, that's because I don't use this account much. I've only been on for maybe half a dozen attacks today. And as you can see, I started off with the Giant Healer down here, and then I did a Mass Dragon attack, and another Mass Dragon attack, and these attacks are from yesterday, it looks like. And this is the first one I did today here. That was 13 hours ago. I did Mass Dragons, looks like 4 times in a row. But of course there's a pretty significant time gap in between these attacks. If you're going to be on your account full time, I would recommend doing these smaller attacks, because you can do a lot more of them and move up through the easy leagues a lot faster. Not to mention, there's not a whole lot of Elixir in the lower leagues, so you're going to have trouble getting enough Elixir to cook up all your dragons and lightning spells. As you can see on this attack, I only got 6,000 Elixir. I didn't do too badly on this one. This one was a little low. 118 or 120,000 isn't much Elixir when you consider that the Mass Dragon attack costs over 300,000 each time. Now you see I did lose this attack up here. That's because I traded trophies for easy loot, because we are in war and I needed enough Elixir to train up another dragon army. I don't recommend doing that, of course. That makes it difficult to push trophies, so if you're going for trophies, don't trade off trophies. It can be difficult to be in war and trophy push at the same time. Alright, now the army I have trained up right now is the first Goho army. I'm sorry, Jiho. There's no golems. I have giants and hogs. Of course, my hogs are level 1, and I don't have my king. That's why I have not used this army yet. I just happened to use it this time because the war took all my Elixir, and I had to use some sort of Dark Elixir troop to fill the gap. Let's take a look at some of the attacks I did yesterday and earlier today to move up towards Crystal. Now in this attack you'll see that I don't get the 3-star, but I was able to find a base not only with lots of Elixir, but he had a 30 trophy offer. That means if you only get the 2 stars, you're still going to come away with 20 trophies. And if you're doing attacks 2 or 3 times an hour, that's pretty significant. Of course, I was not expecting to deal with the Max Valkyrie and the Clan Castle either. That can be quite difficult. I would recommend bringing a couple of minions to help deal with something like this. You can always draw that Valkyrie up in the corner after you take care of the wizard and the archers, and just drop a couple minions on her head, and they'll take care of her. Coming in with the giants here, trying to get to that air defense. Ever since they added those extra air defenses for Town Hall 6 and 7, it does make it quite a bit more challenging to run Giant Healer. But you can see I'm getting the first air defense down here, and then this one over here is out in the open. So that's 2 air defenses down pretty quickly. Go ahead and drop in one of the healers. That wizard tower here is doing a lot of damage to all my giants there. That's why I had to go ahead and get a healer in. And I've got a max healer in the clan castle that's coming down now, as well as a max balloon, but it's going to get in range of that air defense. I'm bringing more wizards in from the top to take care of that elixir storage. That's my main focus when doing an attack like this. I'm trying to gather up enough loot to go for another dragon raid. Now these troops are going to be pretty much untouched while they take out the town hall. Now the healers are on them, so the mortar's not going to do enough damage to take them out. Unfortunately, though, that means I'm going to lose my giants. Those healers can be kind of a pain to deal with sometimes. I've got my little level 3 king here going to work on these buildings around the edge, backed up with wizards. At this point, I'm just trying to pick up as much of this elixir and percentage as I can. Of course, if you're going to get 2 stars, you want to try and get up to that 70% so that you get as much loot as you possibly can out of it. And these wizards are going to get taken care of and wrap up this raid. And I come away with about 200,000 total after... Now let's take a look at... Let's take a look at one of my dragon raids. Now with this base I had gotten lucky. Not only was it a higher trophy offer, but it has full collectors, so there's quite a bit of elixir on this base. 250,000 as you can see. Not only that, but it's an easy target for dragons because of this air defense on the edge here. So I go ahead and use the spells to take care of that, and I've got the funnel going up at the top with one of my dragons. I've funneled down here with another dragon, and I've got the main force of dragons coming in from the top here. Now I do have max balloons in the clan castle, and I'm hanging on to them for just a minute. Actually, I just dropped them, and I put them right on top of that air defense there. Now they're going to take out that air defense and these archer towers, and that's a big help for dragon attacks. You don't want to underestimate the archer towers, especially the higher level ones. If they're maxed out for Town Hall 8, they do quite a bit of damage to the dragons, whether they're level 2 or level 3. But the dragons are moving through pretty easily. I have one balloon left down there. It's going to get taken out soon, probably by that Tesla. Yep, down it goes. But I definitely got good value out of those clan castle balloons. As the dragons work their way down through, I did miss builder huts. You're going to want to keep an eye on those because those can come back and bite you. On this attack, however, I moved through so quickly and have so many dragons spread out that I was able to pick up all these extra buildings. Your dragons will move a lot slower if they're all clumped up in one group, which they usually do get clumped up into a group as they move through a base. I had gotten lucky on this one though. You can see they're already splitting off. These ones are going to take out that builder hut, and then these ones up to that one. Now, if you do choose to do the mass dragon attacks at this point, or even lower, say gold 2 and 3, or even in Silver League, I would still recommend some of these smaller armies because you're going to run out of elixir pretty quickly. after one attack usually. Because it can be hard to find loot and trophies. So you're usually just looking for the bases that have trophies. And as you can see in some of these attacks like this one had 30 trophies, but it only had 6,000 elixir. And same for these ones. Less than 200,000 elixir is not good for dragon attacks. But I had decent trophies on all of them. This one not so much, Ares. But I wasn't really in the push yet, so I wasn't too concerned about it. But yeah, let's look at one more of these smaller attacks. And see on this one, I didn't do so well on the elixir part. There was 210,000 available. I only got 160 of it. But that's still a little more than half of what you need for your dragon army. And of course, to help out, you could always bring more hog riders. You can bring no spells. I've had a few attacks like this before where I just don't bring spells because it's a lot cheaper. I'm making the funnel. What I'm trying to do is to get my army to go straight down the middle here. And, of course, that's not how things end up going. The giants and wall breakers want to kind of go around. They want to go down the sides. You see, the giants are already splitting up. And when you're doing these giant healer attacks, that's not good. You want to try and keep them all in one group as much as possible. That way, you're getting the best out of your heal spells. See, I dropped 2 there where I should have only had to drop 1. I got the hog riders to go down the middle like I wanted, but for whatever reason, I guess that archer tower was closer. They did not get that air defense down, and that's ultimately what cost me the 3-star in this attack. I had to go ahead and send in a healer because I was out of heal spells. And I sent in the other healer on the other side with the balloon out of the clan castle. And that probably wasn't such a great idea, because you can see the giants are already down. Now the healer's just healing up wizards. And if I had sent the healer in down here, they would have stayed alive for much longer. But the wizards here are working on this elixir, and that's the main idea for these attacks. Now troops are going to be going down. There's just 2 defenses left, but for these low HP troops, that's all that it takes. I get a little more of that dark elixir before the archers wrap up, and now I've just got 1 archer shooting at the wall there. Not sure why I didn't end it. But there's that attack. So let's go ahead and get into an attack here. I know my options are going to be quite limited with the king being down and my hogs being level 1, but I should be able to get some elixir out of this so that I can do my next dragon attack. This will probably be my last attack for tonight, but tomorrow I will have no problem getting into Crystal 1 and then start making my way up through the Crystal League. Let's see what we can find. Actually, this was pretty shortly in. I found quite an interesting base here. It looks like there could be a giant bomb down here by the king. Could be a giant bomb up there by the mortar. Now the great thing about this mortar is I can send 1 hog in to not only check for clan castle troops, but to check for giant bombs. I'm checking for builder huts to draw the clan castle troops too, if there are any. Tesla. No clan castle troops. Alright. So the bombs are most likely spread out around the outside of the base. So we're going to do a bit of a spread here with the giants. I expected the Tesla to be there, which is good because that is where I'm going to send some of my hog riders. Doing a 2-finger deployment. And heal spell on the wizard tower. Heal spell on the wizard tower. Those are the biggest enemies now that I can see that there are no giant bombs inside of the base. And I will hang on to this last heal spell until they start to group back up here at the top. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and drop it right there. And keep these guys alive. It looks like my giants are dead. So I'm going to have to put a whole bunch of wizards here to take care of the king. Because I don't have my king to combat him. And since the hogs are over there, we're going to put the archers over here. This isn't a great way to clean up. Ideally, I'd want to spread out the wizards more. I'm just afraid of that king taking out too many hogs. See, I do have, looks like 6 or so hog riders left. Maybe 5. Which is plenty, as long as they don't find a giant bomb. And the wizards are still going to town. It looks like we're going to get the 3-star here. Which is great. I mean, the trophies aren't really that incredible. But this should get me close to getting my dragons. My next dragon army. Oh, there's a giant bomb up there. Right on the outside. Just a few buildings left. Getting that elixir. Oh yeah, I'll be able to do... Oh no. I found a giant bomb right there. Took out all the wizards, but we've only got a few buildings left. Alright. Looks good. Now let's see what we can do in here. Oops. Oh man. I need enough elixir to do 2 more spells. But since I am not attacking tonight, I should have enough elixir in my collectors when I wake up to brew up those last 2 spells and get right back at it. But for now, we're going to get some defense. And upgrade a couple of walls. And that'll wrap this push up for today. There we go. Now, to wrap up the basic idea of today's start to the trophy push, basically just move up through the lower leagues quickly and don't worry about doing your heavy attacks yet. You saw that I'm doing dragon attacks. You really don't need to even brew mass dragons until you get into the Crystal League. So just do giant healer, do hog rider attacks, do these small quick armies. That way you can move up into high gold league, low crystal league relatively quickly. And then you're going to want to start focusing on your dragon attacks, because at that point your bonus is going to start getting larger, and it's going to help you afford the dragons each time. Of course, you're not going to be able to do dragons over and over again, but we will get to that in the next video in this series, which will be coming up later this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more Clash of Clans content and the rest of this series, be sure to subscribe. I'll be having more trophy pushing videos coming up. Be sure to follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. I will link my Twitter down below in the description. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.